Game number 2 with Utah State. It feels as if we just played them. We've got about half the league where we haven't played once yet, and we'll have our second round with Utah State. And I vividly remember the feel and flow of that game. And we've got to play better. Evans, their big post player, lit us up from three-point range, and when we tried to guard him at three-point range, he drove around us and got fouled. He was 10 for 12 from the free throw line. And Jalen Moore and Smith are very, very active, aggressive scorers, and you watch tape on them now, and they're playing better offensively. And we are hands full with them when we played them at their place. So this is going to be a good game. I'm glad we got them at home with our crowd. It doesn't guarantee anything other than you've got your crowd and you're in familiar environment. So we're excited about being 6-0. We're smart enough to know that every game we've had with 5 minutes to go was in doubt. Either team could win, and we found ways to win all of them. So we're hopeful that we can continue to do that. We're hopeful that we can grow and play a little bit better. But I really feel that the way we've practiced has allowed us to get better, and as well as our coaches, and I think our players are respectful of the fact that, you know, we've got a lot of growing that we still can do. We've played good in stretches. We've won games on the road, which is hard to do in any league, especially this league. And we're 1/3 through our 18-game schedule, so there's a lot of games to be played. And we're determined to get better. Anything?
Coach, you've talked a couple times now about the Kansas game being a turning point. Why was it a turning point? What happened in that game that flipped the switch with the players or the team?
I'm not sure, and I'm not positive that Kansas was the turning point, to be honest with you. For me, I thought we played with a little more confident vigor. And it was almost as if we went, after that stretch of games, now we were the hunter again, where we were coming after somebody. And we talked about that. You have to play that way no matter who you play. No matter if you're supposed to win or not, you have to play with the same type of confidence and don't worry about the score. So I think the way we played in the second half, I said, and us feeling as if we just have to come out and play and not worry about expectations, I think it kind of helped us start moving slowly forward. Our practices have been better, though. I think the turning point has been their willingness to say, if I don't practice the way I expect to play, I won't play the way I expect to play.
Steve, is there any benefit to the 6 losses that were suffered during the non-conference season?
Any what?
Any benefit? Any benefit? Was there a positive in the fact that you guys lost 6 games during a non-conference schedule, and how does that impact the team that you guys are today, now undefeated in conference play?
I don't think that you could say there was a whole lot of benefit in our losing 6 games. We haven't done that in a long, long time. And we lost several of those games that were played at home. And good teams find ways to win at home. And we didn't do that. So I think what it did, it allowed me to shake up the lineup, and they knew that job security is not a guarantee. It's not just because. You have to earn your stripes, and you have to continue to grow who you are, or somebody else is going to take your spot. And when you don't win, everybody reevaluates. You know, what do I have to do better? What do we as a staff need to do better? What do the players need to do better? So from that standpoint, we try to do that when you win. There's a greater sense of urgency when you don't win, probably. But I don't think I could say, yeah, it was really good that we lost at Petco Park or lost 2 games in Viejas Arena. I mean, we played some really good people in those other 3 games, and yet we weren't able to win any of those other 3.
Coach, can you speak to the resiliency your team's shown the last few games? A couple tough road wins, and then getting forced into overtime last week, but still staying calm, still, as you said, get the winning tip and keep the lead, and just how they never really faltered under that pressure.
We've gotten better in terms of accepting individual roles and responsibilities. Don't try to do something that's not you, but do what you're supposed to do. And I do think that, in particular, the 2 guys that were here before me, Winston and Skyler, have become better role models, leaders by example, unafraid to say some things. Winston is the voice in the huddle, in the hallway before they go out. Skyler has become much more vocal in terms of, I'm a senior now. So I really think the emergence of Skyler, one, because he hadn't done that before, and Winston, because that's who he wants to be, and when he started to play better, settled in more of a comfort level in terms of playing and doing what he does best. He's our best passer. We're starting now to throw him the ball like we did JJ and expect good things to happen. High post, low post, and he knows that, and he likes that, and he's delivered. So I think those 2 have really been a key part in helping us stay together, find ways to win those tough games.
What's the status of Matt Shrigley? Obviously, he suited up in the last game, didn't play, went through warm-ups. Is he good to go? Could he play this Saturday, or is it going to be a few more weeks?
I'm going to meet again with Tom Abdenar, our trainer. Got a call in to Dr. Bear and a couple of people to talk on that particular item. He really practiced yesterday, what I would say for the first time, where there were no restrictions. Well, don't put him in this drill, don't put him in that drill. So he practiced yesterday. So I have to, in my own mind, get clarity. What does that mean? We're still not quite at the 6-month date. He had a doctor's appointment yesterday. We're inching closer. And, Tom and I will talk again today. We'll see how practice goes with Matt today. I'll talk to Dr. Bear, and we'll see what that means.
Is a situation where you'll just bring him in very easily once you do get clearance to play him and feel comfortable, or will it just be he's ready to go?
I think it will slide him in for a 2 or 3 minute segment and see what that means and how he adjusts and performs. I mean, it's been a long time away from the team and a long time since he's played in the game, but he's got a resume that he can play. So we're not going to throw him in the first time he goes in and let him play 20 minutes. That won't happen.
Coach, Utah State is coming into this game with this being their 3rd game in as many states, and you guys just came off a similar stretch. How difficult is that for a coaching staff to prepare your team for that and to keep them fresh throughout that stretch?
It's what we all have to do at one time or another. They had a big win at Colorado State, scored 96 points. It took us 3 games to get 96 points in a stretch that we had. They played their last game at home, so I think you have that going for you when you don't have to play on the road and then another one on the road. I'm glad we're at home. So it's what everybody goes through, and they will be prepared. I think they're 2-3 since we played them last, and they're a ball club that they're hard to guard. they are a little more free-flowing than they have been when we played them the first time. They don't run quite as many sets. And they usually say, okay, what do we want to run against this team? And what they ran against Vegas may not be what they run against us. So it's hard to look at the last tape and say, here's what they're going to do. And that makes them difficult to guard. And they obviously could score at a lot of spots. Smith had a career-high 30-something at Colorado State. Evans had a career-high 22 against us at their place. 3 threes, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. So I don't know that the travel, 3 different states, is going to have any bearing on anything, other than now they're through with that, and maybe they won't have that same thing over the next 10 days.